Hi you two, I hope you're all having a fabulous week. I'm going to read our story today and I'm going to carry on with our Treasure Island book, and you are on chapter 5, Battle and Escape. At dawn, Long John Silver came hobbling up the hill. "Give us the treasure map," he said, "and we won't harm you." "We don't bargain with pirates," said the captain. "Then you're all dead men," sneered Long John and walked off. The captain looked at us. "Get ready to fight, my lads," he said. Time seemed to stop. It became very hot and quiet. Suddenly, shots rang out and pirates swarmed over the fence. The captain's men opened fire and a savage battle began. Finally, the fighting was over and the last few pirates ran off, defeated. Dr. Livesey took the treasure map and disappeared into the woods. I guessed he had gone to find Ben Gunn, and I wanted to help. Taking 2 pistols, I crept away to join him. But as I walked along the beach, I found a boat Ben Gunn had made. It gave me a wonderful idea. I would cut the Hispaniola loose from its rope. With luck, the few pirates left on board would be taken by surprise and the ship would run aground. I'll give those pirates something to talk about. It was easy to launch the little boat into the waves, but it wasn't so easy to steer it. When I tried to paddle, the boat just spun in circles. Luckily, the tide swept me over to the ship. Catching hold of the anchor rope, I sliced through it. I could hear people shouting inside, so I quietly crawled up to a window. 2 pirates were locked in a vicious fight. The ship moved suddenly, startling the pirates. I dived back into my boat and crouched at the bottom. I hid with my eyes shut as the waves carried me out to sea. Chapter 6, Lost at Sea. Hours later, I woke with my head spinning. It was already daytime and I was bobbing on the sea not far from the island. But when I tried to paddle ashore, the boat was caught by a huge wave and plunged underwater for a second. I was terrified. I realised I had no control over the boat and feared I'd be lost at sea forever. Then, to my great relief, I saw the Hispaniola drifting my way. There was only one thing to do. I would have to get on board and try to take charge. I wonder how many pirates are left on board. All of a sudden, the ship reared up on the sea and towered over me. I sprang up and managed to catch hold of it, just as it smashed the little boat to tiny pieces. Holding on with all my strength, I clambered along a mast as the ship rocked and plunged. Gently, I swung myself down onto the deck. The whole place seemed strangely quiet. In a corner, 2 pirates were lying in a pool of blood. One was dead, but the other groaned and looked up. It was Israel Hands, one of Long John Silver's friends. "What are you doing here?" "I've come to take the ship back to Captain Smollett." Hands smiled slyly. "I'll help you sail the ship to the island if you like," he offered. But as he approached the bay, I heard a noise behind me. I whirled around. Hands was clutching a dagger ready to strike. "What are you doing?" "Getting the ship back." He lunged at me, but I skipped to one side. Then I tried to fire one of the pistols. There was only a dull click. In desperation, I scrambled up the mast ropes, climbing higher and higher. "You can't escape that easily, lad." At one point, I glanced down. Hans was climbing after me. I paused to reload my pistols. Suddenly, Hans hurled his dagger, striking me on the shoulder. I have never felt so much pain before or since. As I shouted out, both pistols went off. Hans screamed and dropped into the sea. Ah! With a thumping heart and throbbing shoulder, I climbed down and swam ashore. I'd escaped. And now the Hispaniola was ready for the captain. Eagerly, I set off across the island to find my friends. When I finally reached the log fort, it was dark. I crept inside, stumbling in the gloom. Suddenly, a weird voice shrieked, "Pieces of 8!" It was the parrot. I tried to run, but someone grabbed me and held up a light. Chapter 7. Treasure Hunt. To my dismay, I was surrounded by pirates. "Your friends have gone," Long John said. "There's only us now." Another pirate snarled and lunged at me with a knife. "Hey," growled Long John, "I'm in charge here." The pirates glared at him. "We want a new leader," one of them said. Long John took something out of his pocket and held it up. Everyone gasped. Flint's treasure map. I was puzzled, but Long John wouldn't tell me how it came into his hands. 3 cheers for old Silver. Next morning, to my surprise, Dr. Livesey arrived. He'd agreed to look after the wounded pirates. Long John was determined to keep me a prisoner, but he let me talk to the doctor for a while. "I thought you'd gone," I said, telling Dr. Livesey about my adventure on the Hispaniola. "Well done, Jim. Don't worry, we'll rescue you." Soon after breakfast, the pirates set off to find the treasure. They took me with them. The map said Flint's chest was buried under a tall tree in the shadow of Spyglass Hill. How will I ever escape? As we neared the spot marked X on the map, a pirate up ahead began to shout. But he hadn't found treasure, he found a skeleton. In the silence that followed, a spine-chilling voice filled the air. It sang a sailor's song. "The ghost of Captain Flint," cried the pirates. "Flint is coming to get us. Run." "Don't be stupid," said Long John. "It's just someone trying to scare us." Another pirate spotted a tall tree, and everyone charged over to it. But at the bottom of the tree was an empty hole. The treasure had gone. Long John has dragged us all this way for nothing. Long John tapped me on my good shoulder. "There's going to be trouble," he whispered. Was he on our side now? I clutched my pistols tightly, feeling sweat run down my neck. The men are going to be furious. Get ready to fight. Chapter 8. Home Again. The pirates stared at Long John menacingly and drew their guns. Just then, shots rang out. Dr. Livesey and Ben Gunn charged out of the bushes with a sailor named Gray. The terrified pirates ran off. "Quick," said the doctor, "we must get to the boats before the pirates." We sprinted to the beach with Long John hobbling behind. "Don't leave me," he panted. "The others will kill me." "I'll damage this boat so the pirates can't follow us." We clambered aboard a boat and rowed for the Hispaniola. As Gray rowed, Dr. Livesey cleared up a mystery. "I tricked Silver with the treasure map," he told me. "I wanted to distract the pirates. I knew Ben had found Flint's treasure years ago." Leaving Gray behind to guard the Hispaniola, the rest of us headed for Ben's cave and the treasure. The Squire and Captain Smollett are waiting for us in Ben's cave. Ben's cave was enormous. The ground was covered in huge heaps of glittering coins, gold bars and jewels that gleamed in the firelight. The Squire and Captain Smollett were thrilled to see me. That night we had a grand feast to celebrate finding Flint's treasure. Next morning we loaded up the ship with the treasure and sailed away. We took Long John along, but during the voyage Ben Gunn helped him escape with some gold. "I thought we'd better off without him," Ben said. When we landed at Bristol Docks, I hugged everyone goodbye and took my share of the gold. I never saw Long John Silver again. I never did go back to Treasure Island, but sometimes in my dreams I hear the waves on the sand or Long John's parrot squawking, "Pieces of 8." There we go, and that's the last page. Right, I hope you enjoyed that story. Have an amazing rest of your day, guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.